In the pantheon of Greek gods, few names evoke as much dread and fascination as Hades. Feared as the lord of the underworld, he is often painted as cruel, merciless, even villainous. But is that really the truth? Or is there more to Hades than the shadows suggest? Today we're diving into the myths, stories, and surprising nuances of Hades, who may just be one of mythology's most misunderstood gods, and yes, even an unexpected romantic. When you think of Hades, what comes to mind? Terrifying god ruling over the dead. A grim and merciless figure lurking in the shadows. For centuries, his name has been synonymous with fear. But what if I told you Hades was more than just the lord of the underworld? What if, hidden beneath the darkness, lies one of the most surprising love stories in Greek mythology? Hades was one of the three sons of Cronus and Rhea, swallowed at birth and later freed by Zeus. Though fate made him one of the least visible of the Olympians. After the Titanomachy, the war between the Titans and the Olympian gods, Hades and his brothers, Zeus and Poseidon, divided the world. Zeus took the sky, Poseidon the seas, and Hades drew the short straw, ruling the underworld. It wasn't punishment nor exile, it was necessity. Someone had to rule the realm of the dead, and Hades accepted that burden. But unlike popular imagination, Hades was not death itself, that was Thanatos. Hades was the ruler of the dead, the keeper of order, the administrator of souls. But make no mistake, he wasn't the devil. In fact, the ancient Greeks didn't even consider him evil. To them, Hades was stern, unyielding, and fair. He wasn't cruel to mortals, he simply enforced the natural order. Life, death, and what comes after. The underworld itself was vast and layered. There was the Asphodel Meadows, where ordinary souls wandered. Elysium, reserved for heroes and the blessed. And Tartarus, the prison for the wicked and the enemies of the gods. Hades ruled over all of it, not as a tormentor, but as a judge. With Cerberus at his gates and Charon ferrying souls across the river Styx, Hades ensured that balance was preserved. Why, then, do we think of Hades as evil? The Greeks themselves didn't always see him that way. His name was spoken carefully, often replaced with euphemisms like Plauton, meaning the wealthy one, a nod to the riches beneath the earth. Crops, metals, and gems. Hades controlled the hidden wealth of the land. But his association with death meant he inspired fear, and later retellings, especially Roman and Christian reinterpretations, transformed him into a devil-like figure. In truth, Hades was not cruel. He rarely left his realm, and when he did, the myths surrounding him changed forever. But here's the twist. Though he was lord over countless spirits, Hades was lonely. Unlike Zeus, who couldn't resist chasing mortals and goddesses alike, Hades was rarely involved in affairs. In fact, there's only one great romance tied to his name. And it begins with a goddess of spring. Persephone, daughter of Demeter, goddess of the harvest. One day, while picking flowers in a sunlit meadow, the earth split open and Hades emerged in his golden chariot. He seized her and vanished into the depths of the underworld. Now, most tellings call this an abduction. An act of power, not love. Demeter's grief was so great she neglected her duties, causing the world's crops to wither. Humanity starved, and Zeus was forced to intervene. But here's where the story twists. Some ancient versions suggest Hades wasn't the villain. He didn't mistreat Persephone. In fact, he crowned her queen, gave her power, and treated her as his equal. Something Zeus himself rarely did with Hera. Persephone, in time, grew into her role. She wasn't just a captive, she became the feared and respected queen of the dead. Their union wasn't without compromise. Persephone would spend part of the year with her mother on Earth, and part of the year ruling beside Hades below. This cycle became the mythological explanation for the seasons. Spring and summer when Demeter rejoiced. Fall and winter when she mourned. So was Hades truly a monster? Or an unexpected romantic? Unlike Zeus, Hades had only one true partner. He remained faithful to Persephone, a rarity among gods. He gave her authority, power, and loyalty. Was their relationship perfect? No. The abduction still casts a long shadow. But in the myths, Persephone never escapes, never overthrows him, and never seeks another love. Some even suggest she came to love Hades in return. Together, they became a symbol of balance. Life and death, growth and decay, spring and winter. This is where Hades defies expectation. The Lord of the Dead was not a womanizer. He was not known for casual dalliances or fleeting passion. His love, though flawed in its origins, was enduring. In many myths, Hades is shown not as an unfeeling tyrant, but as a husband who respected Persephone's power. She was not just his consort, she was his equal, ruling the underworld beside him. Even later poets wrote of Hades as protective, even tender toward her. Persephone's presence softened the darkness of his realm, bringing renewal, balance, and even beauty to the land of shadows. Perhaps Hades wasn't just the lord of the underworld. Perhaps he was a god who understood that even in the darkest places, love can bloom. Hades has long been feared, but his story reminds us. Myths aren't black and white. Even gods of death can carry unexpected humanity. So, what do you think? Was Hades a monster, or was he a misunderstood figure? The truth may be both and neither. He was stern, commanding, and capable of great acts of fear. But he was also steady, loyal, and perhaps the closest thing to a romantic Olympus ever saw. Next time you think of Hades, remember this. While Zeus ruled with thunder and Poseidon with storms, Hades ruled with silence. In a world of chaotic gods, he was the one who stayed faithful, and perhaps that is why his story endures. If you enjoyed exploring the shadows of the underworld, stay tuned. Because next time, we'll uncover the mysteries of another legendary figure in Greek mythology. Like and subscribe to hear the next whisper behind the myth.